Alright, YouTube, what's going on? So, fill y'all in on what I've been doing today on my day off. I did make it back safe. If y'all saw the video from me coming back last night, that was some real fucked up rain, man. But anyway, you other YouTubers, fellow YouTubers out there, kept me entertained. So, what I've been doing today is I made about 6 videos. I disassembled this low C454. It has a bad crank bearing in it. Other than that, it's perfect. The piston's good, the rod's good, the crank's good, everything's good on it. I got it from the owner of my local hobby shop, which is Radio Control headquarters. If you guys ever get to San Antonio, make sure you go say hi to Robbie and Elliot and Phil and Doug and all the other guys out there working, man. It's a badass hobby shop. It's not quite a Boda Gels track day, but it's close. It's real close. I'm fortunate to have a good hobby shop, man. Nitro, gas, everything, electric. But I'm going to end up putting this, it's a sealed back plate, so I'm going to get a bump box. I got to pick my battles, man. I want to get a new platform, a new truggy platform, so I can't afford to buy a sealed back plate for this, for my buggy, and get one for the truggy when that time comes. So I'm going to use this one for the hyper. But I tell you, it was real easy getting those bearings out. I mean, a bearing puller costs up to $200, and I can't afford stuff like that. So I do it old school, the redneck way. I heat it up and just pop it on the heat plate or the pan. I put it in a pan. I heat it up 250 degrees with my heat gun, and then just popped it on the bottom of the pan. It fell right out, and then I used a dowel to get the front one out. So and then just did the same in reverse to get it back in. But once I had everything out and the bearings out, I soaked it in alcohol, and I cleaned it real good with alcohol and a Q-tip. Cleaned all the internals and oiled everything up, put it back. The only thing is, before you put the bearing, you have to heat it back up to put the bearing back in. Before you put it back in, you have to I put the bearings in the freezer, let them freeze, and then I heat it up to 250 degrees. Slide the crank bearing over the crank, and then just pop it back in. And same thing with the front bearing, except I use a wooden dowel to do that. So anyway, I'll put that in the hyper and then work on getting my truggy platform, which I probably have had a little bit of a setback. Frickin' my POA, my homeowners association, they're wanting money for this and that, all kinds of shit. They're wanting to redo the pool and stuff for the neighborhood, which I don't even use. So we'll see. It may be a month or two before I can even think about getting my truggy, but I'm gonna try. So, and I'm gonna take Muggy's advice, and I'm gonna look on eBay when I have the money in the bank to do something, and I'll consider a used. I saw a couple on there. One of them looked pretty good. It was a Mugen. I'm not sure which model it was, but it was a Mugen truggy. Muggy, you probably saw that one yourself. But it was pretty much rust free, and it had some pretty detailed pictures. Then there was another one that was just crap. There was rust in the first picture everywhere. So, but anyway, so that's what I was doing today. I made that video, and my GoPro, I don't know why it would only record for 10 minutes at a time. So there's like 6 parts to the video of me taking the crank bearings out and putting them back. So I'm not going to put that on there. I'm not going to put it on my channel in like 6 different parts. I'm just not going to do that. So I just explained to y'all how I did it. But I ran the LRP. I can't get that LRP to tune for shit, man. The piston does have a tiny chip out of it. I don't know if that has something to do with it. It runs and it idles, but it idles rough. It's probably this X-Tech carb on here, man. I can't tune this shit, man. But anyway, I'll take it apart and clean it and see what I can do with it. You can't get anything for that engine anymore. You can't get a piston, you can't get a sleeve for it, and I'm really not going to spend $90 on a motor that's got a chip piston to get the Novorossi carb. I'm just not going to do it. So my focus now is I got the 454 ready to go, cleaned, everything straight, new bearings, and I'm gonna put it in the Hyper. Maybe I'll use the Maxstar 28 and put it in my other LST. But man, I really love this XXL. I know it's an MT, man, but damn, man, it's the badassest of them all. Even Bottigel won't give up a few of his LSTs, and neither will I. I've got the upgraded high capacity fuel tank from the gas. All I had to do is change the fuel lines from the black gas lines. There's a clunk in the bottom. This seal gets fucked up though. I had to fix it. I've got my motor savers filter. I don't have an outer savers on it because I really don't ever run this truck. But the Big Joes and the Weld Racing, these are 23mm hexes on here. They're freaking huge, man. They're badass. But I think the fifth scales run like 23 and 24mm hexes. But I'll never get rid of it, man. I love this. There's a friend of mine named Alton Lenz, man. This dude hooked me up with so many trucks. I had a lot of electric, a badass X-Max with all the bells and whistles, the Proline piggybacks and the MX Badlands. It was a badass 8S X-Max. I had several E-Revos. One of them was a Speed Run E-Revo. I had Rustlers. I had all kinds of shit, man. And I don't down electric, man. If electric's your thing, do it, man. As long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. I still got 2 electrics. They're my grandson's. He's 7. This is an exact replica of the LST2. Just a mini. Just a mini. But, I mean, exact down to the dual servos, and just everything is the same except it's miniature and it's electric. And we have fun with him when he comes out. I'll let him run that one, and I'll run the little Dramata. This is a badass little electric Dramata. It's all decked out, brushless. Of course, this one's brushed. It's got the dual motors, but it's still fast for brushed. But anyway, you know, whatever you do, if you do electric, you do gas, you do nitro, just have fun. Me and a lot of people I know and people I watch and things like that and talk to, we just happen to love nitro, 1/8 scale nitro. And eventually I'm going to get into 5th scale. I want that 5B. I want to be able to build my 5th scale kit. I think that 5B is badass, man. It's amazing. It's a buggy on steroids, man. It's badass. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I still need to clean this. I did run it when I was out of town, but not very much, about 15-20 minutes, me and my buddy Cortland. And I still need to clean it up. It didn't get that dirty, but man, that concrete sure messes up these tires. I need to get me some road tires or some different tires for when I want to run on the street. That was just about 5-10 minutes, and because they balloon, it tears it up right down the middle. So anyway, I gotta clean that up. I soaked my tank in alcohol, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean this one up. I haven't cleaned it from the first time when I was running the Pico P3. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with that. I can't get a head button for it either. All these discontinued things, you can't get a head button for the ZR30. Can't get a piston or a sleeve for it. You can't get a piston or a sleeve for this. You definitely can't get a head button for it. You know, I tried, you know, milling one out, making it work, and it worked, and it was running, but it kept popping the glow plugs. I'm thinking it was down too close to the piston. But so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. Also, this carburetor from the Pico P3 will fit on the LRP ZR30. Maybe I'll try and run it, because I'm definitely not going to buy a Novorossi carb, spend $90-100 to put a carb on something that you can't put a back plate on this. It's got a fixed crank pin So you have to change the pin, and it's got a chip piston. I'm just going to put the big red back in here. I'm going to put the Losi 454 in the buggy, and I'm going to work on getting me a truggy platform. So, but one of the main things I wanted to let people know is man, this hobby is expensive, man. It's, you know, 100 for this, 50 for that, 500, 300. So take your time. You'll get to where you're going. Have fun with what you got until you can get there. I'm gonna get there, but I'm you know, I gotta work and I gotta pay my dues, be with my family, pay my bills, you know, and then if there's anything left after that, then I can put it into my hobby. I get a lot of tips in the moving business, and you know, normally they're good tips. They're $100 each. You know, we'll take 3, 4, 5 guys on a job, and we're getting $50 each, $100 each. Hell, I've gotten a $900 tip on a old man I took to Hickory, North Carolina. I've gotten $200 tips on, you know, one-day local moves. I've gotten $100 tips on jobs that took 2 hours. So as long as you take care of people and you treat people right, then they'll take care of you 99.9% of the time. But the point I'm getting to is I don't spend my bill money on this shit. I pay my debts first, and if I make extra money, then I can put it in the hobby. Then that's what I'll do. But anyway, I know I'm ranting on, man. I apologize, but it gets frustrating sometimes to want things so bad and wanting to get it and you can't get it. So I'll get it as it comes. But just have fun and do what you do. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to clean this. This thing is filthy, man. Look at all this dust from the... I had the composite shoes on there, the 3 clutch. I took the Max Lifes off because I was screwing with these other older motors, and I didn't want to waste shoe life on that. So once I get my bunk box, I may put the 454 in the truck, the buggy, and then take that Maxstar .28 and put it in the LST and just hold on to the big red. I'll tell you what though, these big reds, even though they're roto start with one-way bearing and all that, man, they're dependable workhorses. They're powerful, but you can't ever put a back plate on that either because it's got a fixed crank pin. Now I think the Dynamite, just the RTR .28s and .21s, you can remove that pin and spring and put a back plate. But for what I understand is eventually you're going to risk breaking a rod. So, alright guys, anyway, my main purpose for this video was to make sure that this camera would record over 10 minutes. It wasn't recording over 10. I changed some of the settings on it. I'm not very literate when it comes to this kind of stuff. I got this from my buddy Alton. Oh, that's what I was saying a minute ago. I bought a lot of stuff from Alton, man, and he gave me badass deals. I bought this camera for 20 bucks. I bought this LST for 50 bucks from him in its original state. The only thing original on it is the chassis and the shocks. But he gave me really good deals. He just got out of the hobby and was cleaning his shed out. So I've bought chargers from him and all kinds of stuff, man. So shout out to Alton. You're badass, dude. I appreciate everything you do. I guess that's gonna be it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. It's already 8:30, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut the video down. I just want to see if it's gonna go over 10 minutes, but I'll talk to you guys probably tomorrow and see what we can do. All right, take care.